welcome back and or to the channel. Rod here at Self-Educated Entrepreneur, and we're here today. So been saying we'll get a tour of this truck. Today's the day, and it's supposed to rain coming up here in the next 12 to 24 hours, so tonight's a great night. I'm here in Draper, Virginia, sitting at a rider shop out in their backyard. Got permission to spend the nights here, so got to work my way into Roanoke tomorrow. So it's Monday, March 4th. Let's take a walk around and give you a little tour of what I do day in and day out for a lot of people that really haven't had much of an insight of the day in the life of just driving truck. So what we got is 2022 Freightliner Cascadia, and I did purchase these. This is out of my own money, but didn't break the bank at all. But I wanted some nice wheel covers. I wish they were aluminum shined up wheels, but I came in and detailed and cleaned up the rims the best I could. So it dresses it up, makes it nice. I wanted this truck to be personalized. I put some of my own money into this to add a little bit of cosmetic aesthetics and features, because I wanted this truck to be specific to me and my liking, because I'm in this thing a lot, and I wanted it to be feeling homey and comfortable while I'm working during the day, and while I jump behind the seat and in the sleeper, and that's my living quarters, refrigerator, microwave, bed, closets, the whole 9 yards. We'll see that here soon. So things I'll point out I wanted. I had to purchase the antenna and the mount. I didn't have this actually, because I had it for the last generation of Cascadia, so I had to get a new one of this. But I had this, got the antenna, had the coax, and bugs all over. So I ran that, and I'll show you here in a bit, but we're gonna take a walk around first. And so been very happy with this, going out every week. It gives you another feeling of just having fun driving truck. Still not a favorite of policies, regulations, and that. So as you can see, we run a lift gate to make deliveries on the goods that we deliver. So with that, I'll show you back there. We run two different kinds of power cords. This is a single pin to a dual pin down here, and then dual pin for the new trailers that are now coming through. So this truck is new used. I had to do a few things to it. I replaced a few broken vents, other jazz in there, tightened, straightened up a few things, because a lot of guys just the pride of having a nice truck is really gone out the wayside unless you're an owner op or you've got some stake into the vehicle itself. Some quarter flaps, mud flaps, they got all upgraded. So we run 53-foot trailers, but I'm not going to open the back up, it's locked. But the lift gate, it's a little interesting on that. The old trailers have these controls. The new ones have a more computerized tablet. So basically it's that. Running them out. And as you can see, it's a bifold. So you just flip that out. When this comes to a stop there, you flip that out as such. And that's a pretty big lift gate. Get about 3,300 pounds on there, and I can put, you know, quite a bit of weight. We really use these lift gates to their maximum. So they got all kinds of tilt features. But as you can see, in most of the rider shops that I go to fuel up in that, because that's where we lease our trucks from, but they always know it's me because they say you're the one with the lift gate on a 53 foot. It's kind of rare, but you'll see it more on like your Family Dollar, Dollar General trucks. They too will have lift gates on their big trailers. So I just wanted to run that out. Like I said, I do that, get in the trailer, you know, check product off, get it out, get it on the lift gate, get it down to the ground, and get it into the customer. Now sometimes I use this, it depends, and that's the thing about where I work at. It takes a minimum of 1 year to know your customers, know how they get delivered, and how they want to receive their product. I've been with these folks going on 10 years, and it says a lot. That is the battery pack for the lift gate that I'll showing you the charge cords up front. So all this means a lot. You really got to know this trailer and the equipment to really be proficient and efficient at getting in, getting out with your customers. Like I said, it takes a while because you got to know how to approach each customer, how you enter, whether you drive in, turn around, hit a dock or bump a dock, or if you're backing in off the main road. There's a lot of things that need to be known with our customers, but it takes years to get acclimated to know all that stuff. So like I said, going on to the time I've had, it's like I told my wife, it's already said a lot about how I perceived a company, and this is by far the best company I have driven for. And I want to say, if you looked at some of my videos but pics of trucks I've driven in the past, the last time I was with a good company was when I was driving my red hooded Mac from the late 80s into the early 90s. From that time forward, it's just I've driven for family, but by then I was on the downside of being burnt out and just all kinds of other problems and issues going on in life that I just needed that sabbatical. But coming back at it, what I'm doing now, here, I will say that the maturity level, the experience level is different than it was 35 years ago when I started 35 years ago when I started in this industry. It's a different mindset, different maturity atmosphere on my behalf, and knowing how to talk to the people in charge here when there's an issue on the road with the product, with a customer. And the one thing I can always say is, when I'm driving and I have a problem out here, when I call in, I am at least going to have at least one, if not a couple, solutions to the problem I have to help work with management to resolve and get through whatever the problem or issue is. And I think that's what every driver should do or approach, instead of coming into the office griping, complaining, and bitching about things. Yeah, okay, it's not a perfect world. If anyone's job was perfect, everyone would be doing it. So therefore, it's not. I like doing this. I'm comfortable. I'm in my wheelhouse. This is what I've been doing since, you know, I've been around this equipment, like I've said in the past, for so long. You know, I've taken a sabbatical to work in healthcare. I was good at it, but to the sense that I'm better at this, and I'm more mature at this, and I want to say I act and handle things more as a smooth operator than I do per se when I dealt with many people in a healthcare atmosphere. So let's pop the hood on this. This is a 15 liter. It's the X15 Cummins. not my choice of engine if I was speccing this truck. And with Freightliners, you can get the Detroit diesel, which I would be more amped to have. Better fuel mileage, less problems IT wise. These engines anymore, mechanically, they're pretty sound. It's the IT side you gotta always worry about. But so far it's been doing good, been averaging between, because I'm in the mountains of West Virginia and Southern Virginia, so I get more 7 miles of the gallon. If I'm flat out, I can be in the high 7s, but I really haven't seen it. When I had the rental truck, I was getting 7, 8 miles a gallon flat out in the Midwest areas. But with this one, I don't. That one was a 505 horse, 1750 torque, Detroit diesel. This one is a 450 horse, 1650 torque. The only thing I noticed between this and the Detroit is the takeoff on this, going through the gear, the power band, as they say, but going through the gears, it just takes off very lazy, very slow. The Detroit is a little bit more, it's way more zippier to get yourself away from a dead stop to getting up to road speed. The Detroit just far better. This is very, very slow and lazy, and definitely the power band in the low end is just not there with this over the Detroit. Like pulling the hills and the mountains down here. So I just wanted to bring that that little bit of information onto the video. So yeah, like I said, it's the Cummins X15, and yeah, that's the specs on it. So it's a big boy motor. The 15 liters, slightly bigger than what I ran 35 years ago with the 3406 Caterpillar engines, which were 893 cubic inch. These are like 916 cubic inch. But remember, these things are bogged down with a lot of emissions now, which really robs them of their power. Even though it was a 425, 4¼ horse cat back then, it definitely would jump up and take off compared to these. Though I think if you were to strip all the emissions off this and just have it just run the way it should, I think this would be a very zippy engine itself. So one last thing before we jump inside. So I ran that cable through there, and I watched a few YouTube on this, but it goes through there, and then you come through here, right down there, up, and then there's provisions right there to run your cable through. You run your cable through, just had to pop a few panels off on the door post up here, but just ran the cable through, up and over top and into the CB. So that's my CB coax. But that's been helpful on a few slowdowns and accidents so far, so I've been finding the value in that. But so far, I got it cleaned up last week. I was hoping to shoot a video, and things just prevented me from even getting back into work over the weekend to jump on this to get this video. So and I know I've been saying I'd be getting around to it. So what also having a sleeper truck makes nice is when you need to get the stuff. Now this side I have my pull rod for the kingpin release to unlock the trailer from the hitch. Spare power cords, work gloves. This is my inverter. I haven't really peeked in to see what watt. I'm assuming it's 1800 watt inverter. That right there is your shore power. I can take that cord, plug it into 110, put it in there, so like in the summertime, if I'm away from the truck for a couple days, I can just plug it in. It keeps the refrigerator and stuff going without draining on the batteries. And then the other side here, see, and then we can just access that right here within the cab. Pop this is my utility side for tools. So I carry a cordless bit driver. I've got some basic hand tools. I got an air hose to air up tires. I carry spare antifreeze oil, wiper blades, hammers, air blow nozzle. I have an air chuck, and these are things I bought. Those are my triangles, my squeegee to clean the mirrors off, just zip ties, duct tape, anything I may need to get me through if there is any minor malfunctions out here. Now, anything major on the truck, we call service. They come out, repair the trailer and the truck. So, but those are just, hey, something major or minor happens, I'm not going to call a mechanic out that I could take 5 minutes or 15 minutes and get it fixed and get going. So it's just one of those, it's a judgment call. But if it's something major, I usually check in with the office. But for the most part, like tire changes, engine breakdown, you know, any breakdowns that may be related to the engine, IT, or a flat tire, air problems with the truck or trailer, we call the company and they send a service tech out. That's part of the lease program. Wrap this up out here. If I was to be in business or such, this would be one of 4 trucks I would look at. And nowadays, you've got to look at these trucks. I know the Peterbilts and all that, the hooded trucks, they look great, and I'd love to have one. For a working day, to make money and to keep the margins of your business profits going, you got to look at the fuel economy side of these trucks anymore. The Cascadia is very, very top tiered in that aspect. The Volvos are, and PACCAR with their T680s, Kenworth and Peterbilts. So those are the 4 trucks I would look at if I was to say, what would you spec? And the reason is they're great in fuel mileage. You don't need a hot rod engine in them. I would just prefer to be up closer to the 505 horse to have a little bit more torque band and get up and go. But the creature comforts of the sleepers in all these trucks are phenomenal now. I've gotten an opportunity to have driven a VNL Volvo 760, which is the 76-inch bunk. This is a 76-inch bunk here, and I will say they all come with their goods and bads. But I'll tell you what, though, it definitely makes your time on the road and away from home way more comfortable than if you look back in the day with the flat top coffin sleepers. The big sleepers were not a thing 40, 50, 60 years ago. If you had a 36-inch wide sleeper, just enough, what they called a coffin sleeper, just to get behind the seat, lay down on a small mattress, that's all the guys needed back then. As you'll see in here, it's gotten crazy. So let's flip us around, get inside the truck now. Make sure I got all the lights on, so show my bald head, and glasses off. Get my boots off here. I treat it, you know, getting in the truck past the work area of driving and paperwork. I basically take my boots off. I've got tennis shoes I carry, which I'll show you. But when I'm on my own time, I've got my tennis shoes to walk around. But during the workday, I am not that driver, nor is the company. They do not allow us, you know, to be running around in shorts, tank tops, flip-flops. The kind of drivers you see at the truck stops. We're required to wear uniform that they provide. It's steel toe boots, and then I do have my nice work area boots that I use for leisure time outside of tennis shoes. But When I'm behind this wheel and I'm on the clock and I'm driving this truck, it's always looking professional. That's one thing that this industry has really gotten downgraded on, is just the attire and the slobbiness of being just a total looking like a pig. I think a lot of guys just don't have pride in themselves, because when you see them at the truck stops, you see them, and especially if you've looked inside or asked the mechanic what it's like to get inside one of these sleeper trucks, it's disgusting. And this is according to many mechanics I've talked to over the last 10 years. And it says a lot, because if that's the way they live in these trucks, what's that say about the way they live at home? And I'm sure a lot of them probably need a significant other to hold their hand and wipe up and clean up after themselves. So I make sure this truck, I treat it as if I own it and it's mine, because like I said, I have to live in it. But when the DOT during a roadside inspection gets up in your vehicle, I've had DOTs look up through the door. They see the type of ELDs we use, and they're like, man, that's the good stuff. We use Geotab. But they'll look in, even if they open the door and they look in, they're like, yeah, you're organized. You know, your truck's clean. There isn't trash on the floor. It just doesn't look like a greasy mechanic shop for the most part. So that's the one thing I say is, have pride not in your ride on the outside, but on the inside. Take care of it. Treat it as if it's yours. But hey, if you neglect your stuff, then I guess that's on you. So I take a lot of pride, because I enjoy driving. I enjoy doing what I do, seeing the countryside. This is my view today, just sitting here looking out the rider shop. This is all the mountain range I've got around me, and it's just huge, like right there. But I will say that eastern Tennessee, but the western, southern Virginia is just the rolling hills. It's gorgeous out here. Can't say enough. So you know, I picked a nice territory to work in, and so anyhow, I just wanted to get that little bit off my chest, to say a lot of guys just have lost the lackluster of having pride in their vehicle. So go through. It's not much in significance of this compared to like say a Peterbilt or anything, where you got a full gauge package. My phone mounts there, as you can see. My tablet mounts there. Radio. All my light switches for inside, outside utility light. All my axle, suspension dump, sliding the fifth wheel, HVAC controls, and just a gauge panel. Now, let's see if I can. So anyhow, as you can see, goes through. You got a various tire monitor, miles per hour, your trip, just everything. Everything's just like these new cars now. And the new 2024 Cascadias are pretty much a full computer screen here. Instead of having buttons and switches, now they're getting away from that, and it's just going to be a tablet screen here with all your gauges and everything. You can just go in and program on the tablet that, and then you have, this is all gone, and this is all recessed in with all computer tablet, like a computer screen. It's like a tablet now, just like this is right there staring at you. And then it's just, it lights up, and it's a gauge package. It's the monitoring system. It's everything there and over here. So it's interesting to see that. I don't know if I'd be a fan favorite of it or not. I would have to sit down and scroll through it and try it. But I have taken a look at the new 2024 Cascadias on the premium package. owner op spec and stuff like that. And they do offer front axle air ride, which would be tremendously so much better. This thing really does take a good, you get jolted pretty good on the front end of this. It's a short wheelbase truck. I think it's around 244, 260, somewhere in there. Turn the key off here. Oh, we'll move on back. So over here on the passenger side, as you can see, there's my tire club and my tennis shoes down there. So, and then we'll just kind of back in and just take a wider view. I got a tub there. That's just to keep catch-all. It's a catch-all tub. So flashlight, window cleaner, anything that I can grab really quick. Trash bags, clipboards, paperwork, stuff like that. Up here, of course, the last generation, they did use that as a glove box, as they used to call it. They've done away with that, so all you have is just the overhead here, and I got a first aid kit, paperwork for the truck, the owner's manual, and then of course spare paper logs in case my e-log goes down. And then same over here, I have one overhead. This is my registration paperwork, stationary stuff, all that jazz. And then my CV. I've had this CV, and the reason why I'm just showing it, I've had this for 25 years. It's a unit end grant. It was equivalent to the Cobra 29 LTD, which they call the 29 LTD Classic now. I had this all bumped up, but it doesn't have a linear, but the modulation, everything's been turned up, and then I have the reverb on it. So if I turn the mic gain up, the more it echoes back. I know it's some people watching this may say, I've heard those are obnoxious. Still got to be a kid, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy the chit chat out there. So I'll turn that off because that thing's going to start squawking here pretty soon. This has got overhead here, as you can see. So above the seats, I've got cabinetry here. I keep all my bread products, cups, hot and cold cups and stuff like that. And then I've got storage up here across the front of the sleeper. And basically I'm standing up right now. I'm literally standing up, and that's how much higher this thing is. This is about 8 foot high in here at the peak. So so I got spare trash bags, other assortment of stuff up here. Over here, now these cabinets have a little recessed area up here. You can throw some bags or something on there, like maybe a duffel bag or something. This is my plates, utensils and all that. That's where I keep all that at. And then coming back here, let me get one more light. I kind of missed a couple lights. I actually found this little puck light under the microwave and above the refrigerator. So that was kind of cool. So my microwave, and it's a good size. So going to be making soup and sandwich tonight. This is all my clothes, work clothes, socks, underwear and all that. I use the top bunk. This is a double bunk, so the top bunk is my catch-all. Duffel bag, dirty clothes bag, stuff like that. And then the curtains here all the way down. So the curtain can, if you had a co-driver, this can divide off the sleeper to the front if they're driving and you're sleeping back here. But for tonight, I just have these curtains wrap around all the way around, and then I grab this one and it wraps around. So basically I have blackout privacy in here, and I can still walk around and have all this room. That's why I said these sleepers have gotten crazy since the day I started driving. So it's not just slide your butt out of the chair, back up and lay in the bed. You've got all this room now. So moving on. Oh yeah, and this for the top bunk, there's the ladder that comes down. So That's a telescopic ladder. It comes down so the other person can get up there. And then that will fold up if needed to be. I just, with all my stuff up there, not going to do it. So this one, and I got my Keurig, coffee, and other goodies and all that. So I got bowls for the bowls with lids for microwaving, things like that up there. So closet, all my winter jackets, stuff like that, my bag to go to the shower room, the other laundry bag I have, so everything gets hung up in there. Last drawer, this is where I keep all my canned goods. So I got my paper bowls, bananas, but I've got all my canned fruits, vegetables, soups, and all that are down here, as you can see. So that's what the, and like I said, a lot of how I set this up is personal preference, but I've seen how other drivers. And then of course this big boy refrigerator. So I got a good size. It's an RV fridge that we carry where I work, so that has come in handy and able to carry a lot. Now the other thing is let me get this situated. So as you can see here, I got ambient lighting. I put this in last week. It's rope lighting, and it goes along, down or along there, back along the front of my bunk, along there, around there. So I laid it all out. So this is the controller for it. I did this because it makes it nice at night when you're sleeping. I have to find a new way to stick this up. So gotta find the control box. My shoe's sitting on it. There we go. Or not. It's gonna make a liar out of me. There we go. I guess white doesn't want to come on. There we go. There's the white. It can get pretty bright in here. So there's just different colors I can go with. I've been sticking with the red. It's more subtle and toned. But set it up to the app and on your phone, and that'll kind of just do all kinds of bumping to the music and stuff. But for the most part, I just leave it on the red, and it does fine for at night. So I've got some kind of lighting, especially when I'm watching TV and that. Let's see, down here, as you will see, we do have 110 here. I got another 110 behind the refrigerator, and I have another 110 outlet behind the microwave. And again, that goes up to the inverter. Pause for a minute to get that open. And then you can open your bunk. It's on struts. And get some lighting in here. Yeah, like I said, that's the 110. So yeah. So that is the S-bar, that big silver thing. That's the heater, bunk heater, so I don't have to run the engine. As you can see, that's the other side of the door, so I can access everything from the outside or the inside. Spare set of boots, rags, bulk water, and of course all my stuff there. So for the most part, that's it. I can carry cordless equipment with me because I can recharge the batteries. But that's the truck. That's the truck in a nutshell. It makes it the right toolage, whether you're a mechanic or a fabricator. When you have the right tools, you can get your day done so much easier, more effortlessly, you know, without having to fight with everything to get things done, and be more productive and efficient. And that's the one thing I said, you know, to the owners of the company. And I said, if we could have, you know, a decent truck, and I told them the specs, because I knew, you know, I definitely need a little bit more engine because of the hills and the mountains. I don't say the hills, the mountains down here work this engine, but it gets it done. I got everything else, so I didn't get the engine. But you know what, maybe next time when we order new trucks. This was one that Ryder found in another area of the United States, so they brought it in so we could get our hands on a truck, so I could get moving, because just the mileages I'm covering. Last week I ran, what, 5 days, 2,800 miles. 6 days, yeah, 5 days. Week before that I did 6 days, 2,600 miles. We're going, we're rocking and rolling, and whatever it takes, you know. Like I said, this is a second home to me. It actually be my third home. You know, I've got my travel trailer that we go to in the summertime on a separate piece of property besides our main house, and then me living in here. So I'm not unfamiliar with like living an RV style, you know, lifestyle. It's I like it because every day my scenery is changing. I get to watch a lot of sunsets, and I'm happy for that. No two days are the same, and so you have to like this lifestyle. I know a lot of people have given a lot of truck drivers, especially the female truck drivers that have YouTube channels, they get a lot of slack from people because they say, well, you shouldn't be out on the road driving, you should be home taking care of your kids. Well, you know what, if you want to support a strong independent woman and she's going to get out here and run with the big boys driving a truck, support her, because she's probably got a strong family at home supporting her and help take care of her kids. So that's probably her way of living. I'm sorry, but that's one thing I don't do. Is a woman should not have to sit and wait on a man to cook, clean, do laundry, and wipe his butt and all that. That's not my forte. I do support women that are going to be go-getters and get after it and get things done. That's the one thing I will say with the company I work for. If you're going to go in and have a discussion with the heads of state at our company, you're going to probably be sitting down with a room full of women and no men, maybe just my boss. But other than that, and I don't have a problem. They've been very innovative and very forthgoing to get this company up and moving forward from where it was, and to see where it's going to go. So that's why between this truck and the company, I'm having a blast out here. So anyhow, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Just wanted to showcase this a little bit. This is what I do, and when I'm not here, I'm home doing my thing, hanging out with the wife and the dogs, and just enjoying life. So I think that's we should be each and every day blessed to what the things we do have and what we've accomplished and achieved, whether it's experiences, education, or things like owning a house or worldly possessions that you own and don't, that you bought and paid for. So that's what I try to bring to this channel, is work hard and be always continuing to educate and be a better person tomorrow than you were today. So until next time, folks, stay safe, continuing educating yourself, self-educated entrepreneur from the truck driving side of the road.